Hello metal workers. I'm going to shake this can of 2X Rustoleum, it's paint and primer, 100 times. Two, 23, 24. Seven, 48, 49, 50, and then change hands. So both of my arms get equally buffed. 55, 56. Okay, 100 times. Okay, this gecko, my Labrador took it down off the fence and bent it all up. That's why all the rust was exposed. It was painted over with Rustoleum, and this was probably pretty well covered. There were a few places that the paint had like chipped away, like probably there, where it needed painting anyways. But it certainly did after my Labrador had his way with it. So I noticed that it has two attachment points, so I'm going to attach it up on the top of the fence like in my metal video, metal 1, except for it's just called metal, and just run it along the top, and hopefully he won't be able to reach it. So I'm going to do the back right now with this green apple 2X Rustoleum. And I'm going to give it a nice coat on the back. And I'm going to do it in a sweeping motion. I'm not going to start the pattern on the gecko itself. Go back a little bit. And if any spray gets on the deck, look at my clean video and it'll tell you how to get it off. I might go over this with another primer too, because that other primer is more self-leveling and make it more smooth. But this is the back, so I probably won't worry about this side. I'll be more worried about the other side. Then I'll give them a little bit of time to dry. While we're waiting for paint to dry, you might want to make yourself a cup of coffee. Rustoleum interacts with the rust chemically and neutralizes it. I can remember when Rustoleum came out, and that was like a really amazing thing. I'm going to bend these back a little bit. Okay, I think I'm going to give it one more coat. And I just really want to protect the back. I don't care that it looks like paint is flaking off like that too much. On the front, I'll care more. Another thing I can do to level it more is use Viejo modeling putty and just put down it into the sunken places, and then use like a palette knife to smooth it out. You could also use a frosting knife. I bought a set of palette knives from Amazon for a whole set of like 5 or 6 of them for really super cheap. So I'll probably use a palette knife to do that. Then after I've done that and used a reciprocating sander to get it smooth, I can use Viejo water-based acrylic polyurethane primer over the top, which is more self-leveling. to make it even more level. Okay, let's flip them over. And I probably used Rustoleum in a brush on this the last time. Maybe the spray paint will do better. Interesting pattern right here. Kind of actually like it. It's kind of looks like where the rust was, and I can see it chemically reacting with the Rustoleum. That's good. I can see little air bubbles. It actually looks like a gecko skin, kind of. See, one just popped over there. Maybe you saw that in the camera. But it's actually interacting. So it's good. I wasn't sure if this 2X product was actually reactive with rust anymore, and it's good to see that it is actually reacting with the rust. I might get better results with the spray paint than I did with the brush on. Because I don't remember the reaction being this obvious in the past. So it's probably a really good thing. And I could have taken a wire wheel on a Dremel tool and removed the paint chips. I'm kind of wishing I had done that now. But when I make a video next year at this time, because it rusted again because I didn't do it right the first time, you'll get to see that process. Yeah, it really looks like gecko skin. So I wouldn't mind if some of those bubbles kind of dried like that, at least for this purpose. It'd be neat if I found like an acrylic medium that would give that effect of it bubbling like that to make gecko skin. That would be actually a cool effect. So feel free to make yourself a cup of coffee because we're literally waiting for paint to dry. It looks pretty dry right here, but it looks kind of shiny there. Again, it looks pretty dry here, but it looks kind of shiny there. It may be my angle too. Chip away this big paint chip here. Some paint on it. And even if it's somewhat protected until next year and I do it again, I'm good with that. I think a lot of this metal art wasn't really meant to be outside, it was meant to be more inside. So as I said in my metal video, what I'm going to do is after I spray it with the acrylic polyurethane self-leveling primer from Viejo, then what I will do is I want to do some glazing. It'll be a kind of a dark green color, maybe called jade green or something like that. It's some military color. After doing that, then what I will do is glaze lighter and lighter. Like at first I'll just leave the outside and I'll just glaze like away from the surface or away from the edges, and then I'll use a lighter color and glaze again. Glaze is a very thin paint, thin with water, and do up to the, just barely to the, away from the edge of the last layer, and then I'll do layer upon layer until it looks very light at what would be the highest point of it, especially along this ridge that's already kind of built in the metal. And then I'll do some pink spots like it used to have, and I'll do the same thing with highlights on those using color triads. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the thing with a Viejo, the Shifters iridescent paint that is got two interference colors. So I'll pick like pink and green or something similar to that, red and green or something similar, and spray it with that so the whole thing looks iridescent. It'll look pretty cool. So once I started painting with these iridescent paints on miniatures, I figured out how I was able to restore some of the really cool effects that they did on the thing originally. And I'm just kind of flooding the paint onto where the edges are to make them less noticeable. It ought to dry pretty level as long as I leave it level like this. So I'll make another video when I do the Viejo surface primer. I might give it a good sanding too, so I'll have that be part of the video. I'll probably use a reciprocating sander and sand off some of this stuff that's there. That'll probably be a good idea. And make another video. Thank you, medalists.